All right, let's just dive right into this. If you're running a website or publishing content right now, you probably feel like the ground beneath you is constantly shifting, right? Well, today's explainer is breaking down a seriously brilliant framework from the latest HighDegree newsletter over at SERPlab SEO. It's called The Invisible Leaks. We're going to look at exactly why your traffic might be dropping even when your content is great, a silent technical error you are almost definitely making, and how the entire definition of SEO is shifting under our feet.
I want to start right here because honestly, this is the number keeping publishers up at night. A massive 38% slice is just missing from organic clicks. And no, this isn't some wild guess. A randomized controlled field experiment actually confirmed that Google AI overviews are slicing organic clicks by 38% on affected queries. Crazy, right? But the hidden story here is what's truly fascinating. Google's own user satisfaction scores, they haven't dropped at all. People actually really like the AI answers. They just aren't clicking through to your site anymore.
So let's get into section 1, the AI traffic drop. Which 38% is actually at risk?
See, the real question isn't whether AI is taking traffic. It is. But which traffic is actually on the chopping block? The practical takeaway here is to think strategically about what AI can and cannot easily summarize. Thin, basic informational content is highly exposed. I mean, if someone just searches, what temperature does water boil, AI answers that perfectly. Boom, done. But complex how-to guides, strong opinions, original data, interactive tools, those are safe. And AI simply cannot fully satisfy a user's need for those nuanced, deeper experiences. It's that complex content that successfully pulls people completely through the AI interface and onto your actual page.
Moving on to section 2, the internal link killer. Are you sabotaging your own crawl budget? Okay, so we just looked at external threats. Now let's talk about how you might be quietly sabotaging your own site from the inside. A lot of marketers absolutely love tracking parameters. We've all done it, adding UTM tags to internal links without a second thought. But think about the clunky URL that tracking creates. When Googlebot crawls your site, it sees the clean URL, the clunky one with the UTM tag, and maybe 3 other random variations. And guess what? It treats every single one of those as a completely separate URL. You are accidentally creating massive amounts of duplicate content. This fragments your link equity, dilutes your crawl budget, and totally confuses Google on which version is the canonical one you actually want to rank.
But hey, luckily, the fix is so much cleaner than you'd expect, and you can literally go implement it today. Step 1, simply strip those tracking parameters from your internal links entirely. You honestly do not need them for your on-site analytics to work properly. Step 2, utilize Google Search Console's URL parameter settings, or just rely on a rock-solid canonical tag strategy to explicitly tell Google which version of the page actually matters. And step 3, save those UTM tags for external links only. Think social media posts or email newsletters where the traffic source genuinely represents new, incoming data. It's such a tiny fix, but it instantly plugs a slow, invisible leak in your site's technical foundation.
All right, section 3. Getting believed over seen. Because nowadays, ranking is really just the start.
Now that those pesky technical leaks are plugged, we need a bit of a philosophical shift. You can rank on page 1 and still lose the click. And worse, you can get the click and still lose the customer. What differentiates a site that actually converts is pure, undeniable credibility. As the HighDegree newsletter points out, this all comes down to controllable EEAT factors. You absolutely need author bylines with real, verifiable credentials. You need specific, hard-hitting details instead of fluffy generalities, and you must showcase firsthand experience. Real readers are evaluating your site for these exact things the second they land on it. Getting seen is just step 1. Getting believed, that's the whole ballgame.
Which brings us to section 4, stop optimizing, start helping, answering the actual question.
This leads us directly into how you actually write. We really need to challenge this outdated SEO obsession with optimizing over actually helping. For years, what did we do? We wrote bloated 2,000-word articles just to hit some arbitrary keyword difficulty score. But think about it. The person Googling "why is my site slow" doesn't want a 10-page history of the internet. They just want a faster site. So write shorter when it's appropriate. And honestly, recommend a competitor if they legitimately have the better tool. Be totally transparent about your limitations and structure your page around exactly what the reader needs to do next. Google is getting remarkably good at detecting whether a page genuinely resolves the user's query. You have to treat helpfulness as the actual point, not just some ranking tactic.
Now for section 5, the AI button trap. Is it clever UX or a major geo risk? I really want you to think about those Ask AI or Summarize This Article buttons you are probably seeing pop up on publisher sites everywhere lately. I mean, they seem like a great idea on the surface, right? But I want to ask you, are these AI buttons actually helping your generative engine optimization, or GEO?
This is the big dilemma we are currently facing. The user experience gains are undeniable. You get quick summaries, longer time on page, super high engagement. But think about the geo costs. See, geo relies on getting external AI models like ChatGPT or Google's AI overviews to actually cite your page. If you slap an AI summary button right on your own page, you might be accidentally training users to consume your content without generating the traditional engagement signals that external search engines need to know your page is valuable. It's a real trade-off. You have to weigh that UX gain against the potential geo cost.
I want to bring this all together with a really powerful quote from Nishat Shuryar from the HighDegree newsletter. Getting seen is the first step. Getting believed is the whole point. The gap between just looking good to a search engine and actually serving the real human being who typed the query, it's getting harder to close. And honestly, it is getting incredibly expensive to ignore.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on today. Is your SEO strategy truly ready for this shift? Are you building a clean, technical foundation that's completely free of internal link leaks? Are you creating complex, undeniable content that AI can't just scrape up and satisfy in 3 seconds? And most importantly, are you optimizing for belief and helpfulness rather than just raw visibility? To make sure you're always staying ahead of the curve and plugging these invisible leaks before they completely sink your traffic, I highly recommend checking out the source of today's insights. Head over to serplabseo.com and subscribe to the HighDegree newsletter. It is absolutely packed with the kind of sharp, actionable intelligence we covered today. Go give your site the technical and strategic audit it deserves. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.